rhythm in martial arts, there's the rhythm in music, there's a blending, then there's the unity, you training with different people, different masters in music, you've got to feed off the other musicians, so it's always that harmony. I think it's close to 45 years now. 45 years.
What made you start?
I think probably one of the main things, I needed a challenge. I always did music. I tried playing other sports, football and baseball, but at that time it just wasn't something that really radiated with me. So when I found martial arts, of course at that time too, Bruce Lee came out, so it was an added motivation. But I walked into my first class in Grandmaster Fagan's class at St. Agnes Church in Bond Hill, and from then I haven't stopped.
So you went from Grandmaster Fagan. Who were some of your other teachers?
Dr. Fairbanks. I started training with him. Actually, when they were working together during that time, Dr. Fairbanks' class would come visit our class, and we'd go visit his class as well as other classes throughout the city. So I had a little familiarity with the system, the Okinawa system. So I pretty much trained with all the masters in the city. Grandmaster Robinson, Grandmaster Emery, Grandmaster Thompson, Grandmaster Posey, on and on and on. Dr. Moore, and pleasure training with him as well.
Did you find a difference or a change in training from one system to the other?
No, because it started so early. My first class, we always visit other schools, so there was really no discrimination in the systems. I mean, somebody come to your school, or you go visit another school and they're doing different type of techniques, you have to adapt. And I think that's probably the foundation of martial arts. I'll give you some variations. Sometimes, if you're out of space, if you're at home, you can throw one leg, or you just get to the point where you just, all I need is this amount of space right here, and I can still.
Did you find a correlation between what you do in the martial arts and what you do as a musician?
Oh yes, yeah. There's definitely a thread between the two, and even a lot of my buddies growing up, we all played music together and we trained together in martial arts. So it's the rhythm. There's a rhythm in martial arts. There's the rhythm in music. There's a blending. Then there's the unity. You training with different people, different masters in music. You got to feed off the other musicians. So it's always that harmony. Turn the waist. And the left hand is going to push. This hand is going to push, like you're pushing clouds away. The eyes follow the hand that's by your face.
This may be a little bit technical for some of our audience. Do you find it a difference between training in a hard style, quote unquote, like Okinawa, or Tang Soo Do, karate, and then training in maybe a softer style, like Tai Chi, Kung Fu, or even an art like Go Judo?
I happened to start off in Tang Soo Do, Taekwondo, Korean style art, but then I was introduced to the Okinawa martial arts, Japanese, then later on Filipino martial arts, Chinese martial arts, internal, external. In China, you had to study all. They started a martial arts academy which my last instructor studied in the martial arts academy, and they went throughout China, pulling in all the top masters of China. And in order to complete this academy, you had to study, the internal arts, Tai Chi, Bagua, Shin Yi. You had to do the Northern Shaolin Kung Fu. You had to do all these different arts. So I don't really believe that you just get locked into one thing. I mean, you may start one place, even as it relates to techniques and skills. Consider the hard styles. Ultimate goal is to get softer and more fluent, and vice versa with the softer styles. And push palm towards the corner, and drop your hand down, and circle back. And push, and drop it, and push back. And push.
You find the softer styles easier to adapt for an older person?
I think it's harder. Because we build up so much tension. Our muscles get stiff, inflexible, and then the mind, our mind gets stiff. Whether it's ego or just rigid. So I think youth, and the whole thing with youth also is to maintain some flexibility, stay open-minded. But if I flip the hand too soon, that means I'm trying to use power. Right. But here the body is this natural motion without trying to muscle. It's already strong, so I just roll with it and not go against the force, because the whole thing with the internal arts of Tai Chi is not to use force against force. Otherwise, then you have this. So he push my shoulder. You got resistance, push. Right. So you don't want to resist.
What would you think would be a good curriculum for people to go with?
I think kids need a combination of all of it. The internal styles, they need to be introduced to it early enough, to know that it exists, because kids, they tend to want to muscle through everything, but also they need the hard style, because they need that. You got to do the hard stuff while you're young and strong and physical, and then kids need to be challenged over and above what comes in natural form. And I think it's what happened to me as a kid, studying karate. I had somebody that was able to push me, over and beyond what was tend to be natural for me. The more your partner relaxes, the harder it is to stay connected. You don't want to, and if I change directions, if I pop off, no good. So I want to stay connected. Then I change. I still want my body to move. And let's start with big circles first, okay? Let's try it. I was able to go to China with my last instructor, Dr. Zhang. Took me to China 3 times. Well, I went there for competition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I trained with him in Los Angeles, California. He was originally from Shanghai area of China. But it was an amazing experience. Just the trip itself was incredible.
Do you find that there's a cultural difference between training here in the United States and in training where they train in China?
There's a difference, but it depends on who you're training with. I was, blessed enough to train with somebody that was, a legendary, master, boxer, Olympic level springboard diver. He was just all around athlete. So to have, China come to California, a lot of times people want to travel to different places to look for something, and sometimes it may already be here. So it would be just like, somebody like a John Coltrane going to Europe. If you had the opportunity to train with, study with John Coltrane or Quincy Jones, it doesn't matter where you're at.